We had a long layoff after the California tournament. We had a cancellation and then a travel cancellation, so we didn't get to go to 2 competitions. And it's just how the cards unfolded for us, and we're just going to kind of roll with the punches and go from there. But we have the York College Open this weekend, tournament that we've been very successful at and had a lot of really great showings over the past 3-4 years that we've had this opportunity to compete there. So I'm really excited to get to this tournament. Excited to kind of get on the mat. Our training's been fantastic. I think, even with us not being able to go to the Midlands Championship and national duels in back-to-back weeks, I still think that we had great weeks of training, great opportunities to grow and develop, and really kind of focus on some of the areas that we're going to need to be top-notch and excellent at when it comes to the regional championships and the national championships in February, March.
And then looking at it, this question for both of you, looking at it kind of in another way, does the long layoff help you per se moving forward, or do you see it as more we need to be on the mat more consistently?
We actually talked about this in practice the other day, and it's interesting kind of asking that question. Something that I always tell the high school girls coming in is the biggest difference between college and high school is the number of matches, maybe not matches, but number of competitions is a little bit more spread out. High school season is a shorter season. Everything's condensed, and it's like every weekend you're wrestling or making weight. College is a little bit more spread out. Same idea, maybe every other week, maybe every 2-3 weeks you're competing. But when you're getting ready to go on the senior level, some of these junior age group teams that like Claire has made, Coach Amanda Hendy has been on, right? You compete maybe once every 6 weeks. So I think us having some time off kind of emulates that a little bit, and I think it's a great way for our younger girls that have those high aspirations to see what it's like. And I think being able to be on the mat and focus on certain areas, we've been implementing a lot of different sparring rather than just hard live practices. It's like hard spars, giving each other good looks, and I think we're getting more out of that than going and wrestling at a tournament and maybe wrestling for a minute against somebody that's not as superior as us. So I think there's some give and take. Obviously, I like to compete and I want to be on the mat. Either way, I think we got what we could out of it.
Personally, I've talking with the girls, we want to compete, and especially at the national duels. That's a tournament that everyone looks forward to every single year. And so it was really disappointing when that all got canceled, but hindsight, we were able to get right back into training, and we were able to get effective practices in, effective lifts in. We were able to go do more lifts than we even had planned on being able to. And personally, for me, the first break was very helpful because I had a severe sinus infection, so I was able to get my antibiotics and get over that one. But while the competitions were canceled, our room is so competitive in that we're still getting better every single day, where that it is almost helping us because we have gotten more mat time than we would have if we had gone to these duels.
Questions?
So is there anything in particular that you've worked on the last, since break, that you've seen in the matches, okay, I need to tweak this, or?
Definitely. The break has been amazing because we've been able to watch more film. Our coaches have been very proactive in getting us to do that and giving us worksheets that we can fill out and assignments that we can do where we analyze what our opponents will do, what we do, where our flaws are and everything. So I've been able to find some severe weak points in my wrestling where I've now, tomorrow I'm going to come in and wrestle with Coach Amanda just so I can help iron some of those out. And every day in the room I still continue to focus on those points in my warm-up, in my drilling, all throughout that.
Yeah, I mean, again,
it really isn't a planned break.
Yeah, like Claire said, it was all of a sudden we were able to get in the weight room 3-4 more times than we had planned, which I think is always a big part of wrestling, right? Everyone, it's not just about being strong, it's about being fit and healthy and preventative in the sense of injuries, right? We were able to take care of that. We were able to kind of spend a little bit more time on some areas in the weight room where I thought we needed to grow. We're also able to keep them engaged in the sense of I've changed some things up, right? Practices are starting to get a little bit shorter. We're in the, if you will, the latter half of our season. So we don't need to be in, me and Claire just said this as we were walking here, we don't need to be in the room 2 hours beating each other up anymore. We were in there hour and 20 minutes today, not including our 10-minute warm-up, and it's where we're at. I think we've focused on a lot of learning where to put our hands, right? I think all of our girls on our team know their best attack and what they want, but it's learning where do I need to put my hands and make sure that I'm set so that I can get to my best attack, while my opponent's also setting their hands and getting their hands on me. So we've been talking a lot about offensive hand fight with each other. So both people in their drill, in their live go, whatever it is that we're working on, both people are offensive minded, because that's how it is in a match. No one's just going to say, hey, it's your turn, you can go. It's very much offensive minded in our practice, and I think that's what's really keeping us engaged right now.
So you talked a little bit about, the more mat time, and, with the way freestyle is, literally, you can be out there for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're not even working up a sweat yet. And, you really do almost get more out of practice. And for the young girls, that probably, they're not used to that. Is that kind of what you're seeing more and more?
Definitely, and college mat time is way different than high school mat time. I was talking to just someone the other day just about how even in drilling, college wrestlers fall down differently. Like, they don't fall in a way that lends them to getting laced easily. And so just getting in the mat with all of the elite wrestlers every single day. The day of national duels, actually, when we were supposed to be in Kentucky, we ended up being able to do a big live day where we were able to get a bunch of minutes in, that where many of us would have gotten like maybe 6 minutes during that whole tournament, when many of the girls would have traveled there and maybe gotten 0 minutes, maybe just gotten the warm-up. And so those college minutes, being able to get the college feel, is super beneficial for all of our freshmen, because freshman mistakes are something that just comes with time. I feel like it just comes with learning it. It's not something where you can just like tell them like, stop acting so young. Like, it's something that we're able to iron out every day.
Or right now. Yeah. And it is hard to do. And you've had that national experience that you can kind of fall back on and kind of figure that out. But the role you're on right now, the confidence level just keeps...
Thankfully, I keep losing, so that keeps me humble.
No, Claire's been on a great roll. I think, currently ranked second in the nation, which is exciting. We were kind of looking at, again, she kind of alluded to it with us talking about giving them assignments. Yeah, we're on academic break from school, but the girls still have homework right now. Like, they're looking at who the top girls in our region are, who the top girls in the nation are. All right, let's find matches of them. What are their weaknesses? What are their tendencies? Claire is and has been doing a great job of being that student of the game too, right? We talk a lot about that as coaches, like we want students, right? And she's done a great job. She knows who her top competitors are. She knows what some of their best attacks are. She also knows what their weaknesses are. So her getting that, I think, is beneficial. But she's also, it's not just Claire. Claire's like, hey, I'm watching film. You want to watch this with me? Let's pick out the other person that you're supposed to be watching. So there's this good balance of being not just a freshman, but also being a leader within our squad.
All right, question of the week. I think you kind of already answered this, but
how do you fill the time during the break that doesn't include sport-related activities?
This break, we had our family come in, so I got to spend a lot of time with my daughter. She's now 4. She just had her birthday, so that's kind of a lot of fun. When it's just me time, I probably like be watching video game stuff or playing video games. I'm kind of a video game nerd, so that's my free time.
Mine is pretty similar. Coach Amanda got me hooked on Township, where I get to build my own town, and I'm going to destroy her in this game. I don't care how many hours it takes.